Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I will be reviewing Stalking Jack the Ripper. Will it be spoilery? Probably. I don't know yet because I'm doing this video in chronological order, so I don't know what I've said throughout the video yet. So you will know in the title if it's spoilery or not. I'm going to try to do my best to keep it like in two parts. One part not spoilers, and then when I get to the spoilers I'll let you guys know. And then you can stop watching if you've never read the book. But let's just dive into, what am I even doing? Let's just talk about the book. Okay, so Stalking Jack the Ripper is by Carrie Maniscalco. I still don't think I'm saying her name right, but hopefully I am. And it's about this girl named Audrey Rose who is fascinated with, I won't say she's fascinated with death, but she's really into science, and her uncle is a, what would it be back then? Because this is back in the late 1800s, and they didn't call medical examiners, but that's what he would be nowadays. Like, he does autopsies, I guess. I don't know what the word would be back then, but so she helps him do that, and that's not looked upon in that society at that time in London in the late 1800s. Women or young girls should be starting to act like young ladies and wanting to go to the balls and drink tea and dress up and do all that, and she's just not interested in that at all. And her uncle has an apprentice named Thomas Cresswell, and in the book you kind of get the idea that it's very much like a Sherlock Holmes and Watson type of relationship, the banter between the two. He's very much like Sherlock Holmes, she's very much like Watson, and the mystery that's in this book is kind of self-evident by the title, but they're trying to figure out who Jack the Ripper is, because these killings are happening and they want to figure out who it is. So that's pretty much the premise of the story. Was it my favorite read? No. It was the first book that I had read after coming out of like my long reading slump, which I talked about in my last video. I thought that I would enjoy it because I do like true crime and I like documentaries about crime because I'm weird, I guess. But this book just didn't, I don't know, I felt like every time I read a page, it feels like it added 50 pages. It's like I can't never. I just felt like I was never gonna finish it. But I did. I mean, I don't know how to do book reviews, if you can tell. This is my first one, so it's great. But I did, annotate, and I took notes as I was in it. But I'll show you some of the notes because, like, I watched a Books with Chloe, how she annotates her books, and like every 50 pages she puts a post-it, and then she writes like what she thought happened so far in the book. And I started that after I read the first 50 pages, so the first one's on like page 108, but that's okay. So like my first one was my top suspects after reading 100 pages was her brother, her uncle, her father, and then Alistair. Which none of those are spoilers because you read it in anyway. But I put that it was, it had quirky dialogue. It was very Sherlock Holmes and Watson. She tries to discover the clues and be independent, but I felt like the author never let that happen. Like, she talked about being like her own person and all this and all that, but then it was always Thomas who discovered the clues, if that makes sense. Like, he was very deductive and could figure out things and see this from this person and see that, and like she just couldn't do that because she was too much into her emotions. What he always told her is like, you gotta leave your emotions, you know, out of it. So it's just like, oh, okay. And then I put, what did Thornley know? And Thornley was a guy that they went to see that used to work for her family. And like he died on his deathbed. So, oh yeah, he would die on his deathbed, wouldn't he? That's kind of how it works. Wow. I'm a great reviewer. But her father is just like the typical dad, for the most part. He does battle with addiction, and he does get sent away in the book, and her mom has passed away when she was little, so it's just really her and her brother at times. But I guess it's like it's somewhat of a trigger warning. It is a little gory. I mean, it kind of goes into detail about what Jack the Ripper was doing, like, to these women, and like how he killed them and things like that. So if you don't like gore or like blood or guts or anything like that, then maybe not read it. This was my huge plot twist moment. When I can't say what the plot twist was, can I? I think everything else, oh yeah. I got to page 258, and at that time I wrote, I have no freaking idea who it is, because I had no idea. And then we discovered who it was, and I was just underwhelmed. Which brings me to my spoiler part of this review. So if you have not read this book yet, I mean, it's a good read. If you do like crime books, I think, and a little mystery, I think it's a good read. But if you're looking for like some hardcore book that is reliant on history and exactly what happened, then this isn't for you, because she did take liberties in changing things. So with that, I'm going to move to the spoilery part of this. I had no idea it was going to be her brother until, like, I kind of had a clue, but I still wasn't sure, because the way that they wrote this, the way she wrote this, yes, there was clues, but she didn't really write them in a way where they connected. Like, that's why in the first 100 pages he was my first suspect, because like, oh, he's part of that Knights of Whitechapel, you know, he was out every time that there was a killing going on, so of course it's him. I don't know why I thought it was him the first 100 pages, but I did. I don't know, like, it says, there was a part in the end of the book where she was talking about how, oh, of course it's him, because he had medical knowledge, because he was in med school before he changed his major. But I don't remember them ever saying that in the beginning of the book, unless I just totally missed it. And if I did, like, let me know down below. But I don't remember her ever saying that. And if she did, then I might have considered him more, I guess, but I just didn't at the time. But like, all in all, you know, it was a good book. I liked the characters. I loved Thomas. I thought he was so funny. I love him. He can be my boyfriend anytime. My book boyfriend anytime. And I like, for the most part, I liked her too. For the time of how it was, I could see that she was kind of wrestling with wanting to do what society wanted her to do, but also be her own person. So I could, you know, I could see her like struggle with that. But like I said, it was just an okay book. It didn't really get me out of my reading slump. It wasn't one where I had to continue to read to find out who it was until the last like 20 pages. By then I was just like, I need to know who it is. So I just kept reading. But I guess, you know, I have the second book in the series, and I have a thing about finishing what I start. So I'll probably finish the series, but yeah, it was just, I think I gave it 4 stars because I was being nice, and it was like my first read back into after a long time, so maybe my standards are just really low. But if you've read this book, let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys are going to put spoilers, like, make sure you like label it a spoiler so people who haven't read it, you know, won't see it. But yeah, so I mean, I gave it 4 stars. Will I change it? Maybe, I don't know. But like I said, it wasn't okay, it wasn't bad, and it wasn't extravagant. It was just an okay book. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys like this review, I'm so sorry for it being my first one. I know it was really bad. But if you guys like reviews and want me to do more, give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys are staying safe and staying healthy, and I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Okay. Well, I suck at reviews. Let's not ever do that again. Oh my. I got... I can't speak.